Alright, week number 6, videos for problems similar to problems number 5 and number 6. Just remember that these are similar problems. I'm not giving you the exact problems out of your homework. I've made up some new ones. So for number 5, I did something like this. 8 minus 2/3. Alright, before I finish off with writing down what's here, let me show you another way to write this problem. I have 8 minus 2/3. This is the exact same thing. If I'm dealing with fractions, I need both of them to be fractions. So what I'm going to do is make the 8 over the number 1. Anytime you need to make a number in a fraction, you just put over the number 1. Okay? So 8 minus 2/3 is the same thing as 8 over 1 minus 2/3. The bottom for this fraction I'm going to put as 4 plus 1/6. So in the same manner, the bottom I would write 4 over 1 plus 1/6. Now if you remember back to adding and subtracting fractions, and yes, my students at school still do not like adding and subtracting fractions, the thing is that you need to have the same denominator or the same number in the bottom of the fraction. So to be able to subtract these two, I don't get to do it like it is. I have to make sure that these two numbers, the 1 and the 3, are the same. And in a similar manner, I'm going to do the same thing with the 1 and the 6 on the bottom. So what's going to happen is that I'm going to multiply by a 3 here, because I know the quickest way is to take this number and multiply this side by it. So I'm going to have, sorry about the phone, 24 over 3 minus 2 over 3. On the bottom, I'm going to do the same thing and multiply through by the 6. And I'm going to have 24 over 6 plus 1 over 6. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take this down here. 24 over 3 minus 2 over 3. 24 over 6 plus 1 over 6. So I just moved it down. What I'm going to do is do 24 minus 2. So I have 22 over 3. Then the bottom I have 24 plus 1 is 25 over 6. So now I've simplified this whole thing just into a fraction over a fraction. Now to be able to take care of this, we're going to do the exact same thing I did for number 4. I want to change this division sign to a multiplying. So I'm going to leave the first, 22 over 3, change this to a multiplying. I don't want to do fraction divided by fraction, too much. So what we do to this fraction though is that we flip it. I'm going to do 6 over 25. So now I have some cross reducing to do. 22 and 25, top and bottom, they don't reduce each other. 2 goes into 22 but not 25. 5 goes into 25 but not 22. So I look at the 3 and the 6 and think about what's the biggest number that goes into 3 and 6. 1 does, yes, but we want bigger. 3 goes into both of those, so I'm going to reduce them. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 6 twice. So I just reduced that, and now all I have to do is multiply. 22 times 2 gives me 44. And then 1 times 25 gives me 25. So my fraction for all this stuff is just the fraction of 44 over 25, and that's all you have to do. Now in number 6, you are starting to solve fractions, I believe. Yep. So what I have is that for number 6, I made this problem very similar to yours, but just different numbers. And I did not do the subtracting. So watch out. Yours will be different. Always watch out for adding and subtracting. Okay. Now in this problem, you have x on the bottom. It's really kind of challenging when you have x on the bottom. So the quickest way I can tell you to get rid of the x is to put everything in parentheses and multiply through by an x. Distribute an x to this fraction and to that one and to that one. So what happens is I have 3x, so 3 times x, over that original x, plus 1/2 times x is 1/2 x. Equal sign, don't forget to bring that down. 4 times x is 4x. Yes, distribute it even to that other side. And then we have our original x on the bottom. Now, I know you're going to tell me that the x's didn't go away, but that's the next step we're going to do. I have x on top, x on bottom, they go away. I have x on top, x on bottom, they go away. I don't have fractions anymore with x on the bottom. This makes it easier to work with. So, I have this problem, 3 plus 1/2 x equals 4, minus 3, minus 3. I get 1/2 x equals 4 minus 3 is 1. Divide by 1/2, divide by 1/2. A piece of paper split into halves is 2. So that's how I solve for x in that way. So try that with number 6 on your own.